Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one is going to be the Trickster stock watch from August. We're wrapping up all the classes that we did in August, and we have the Tricksters here for you. So I do want to say we decided with Stockwatch that we were going to limit honorable mentions to 5. So we have our top 5 honorable mentions, and then a free to play. So you will see some notable Tricksters not on this list. So don't get mad, it doesn't mean they're not good. One thing we found with Tricksters is there's the top 5 that are very, very good and also very rare. And then after that, there's a lot of really good Tricksters that aren't quite as good as those top 5, but can definitely get the job done. So keep that in mind. Very deep class. Ended up being a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. You're taking a look right now at the top of my Tricksters. You see Gooker, BigE, Hall of Fame Piper, Cesaro's about ready to go 5-star bronze, Snoop is 5-star bronze, Edge, NWO Macho down there, Eddie. So there's a lot of really good Tricksters, and the really great ones are extremely rare. So we're going to start with honorable mention. I'm going to go over to the portal. Actually, we're going to start with free to play. And I'm going to talk about the free to play choice, which is Icon HBK. So 5-star gold, he can do a lot of stuff. He's got the double blacks, which is the leech gems. You choose the leech gems, you're going to heal. Makes purples. And the purple sub is a choose into black submission, so you can recycle into those blacks. It's also 47,000 damage for 6 turns. At 5-star gold, you get an extra choose on the sub, and you're also getting an extra choose on the black that makes purple. You're still making the 2 rows of leech gems, but they're quite big. That's one set for HBK. You also, of course, have the Juggernaut gem build, which throws out random leech gems and also destroys blue at the end of the cycle. His finisher will lower the countdown on those two. So you can do the destroy on the finisher with destroying the blue, so you could potentially go blue-blue finisher. There's just a lot of ways you can run HBK. He's definitely an amazing free card at Trickster. High survivability, pretty annoying with the sub. Little bit high charge on the moves, but still very viable because he's healing himself a lot. So a very, very solid card. So with that being said, let's get into the free-to-play, or the honorable mentions. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of guys that you're going to notice missing from this top 5 and the honorable mentions. I do want to say JBL was the closest to being in the top 5. I think some of us would have him there. I really like JBL, even though I don't have him. I enjoyed testing him. So, but a few of us had him in the top 5. So let's just start with Hall of Fame Piper. The thing I really like about Piper is mine is 5-star bronze, and he has been able to meet every Hall of Fame requirement I have needed, and he does it quite well. He's got a very annoying high damage sub by the time you factor his gears in and stuff, and you could get his gear if you maxed his MLC. He's got 2 different subs. By the time, like I said, you put the gear in, you're doing a ton of damage on the subs. They're fairly low charge. If you put the green to the glowing phantom plate, you can do the eye poke here and swap purple and gain 3 green. So you're like almost recycling every time with that plate that you're filling your subs. He's also got a really nice health steal that you can work in and run 1 sub. That's actually my preferred way to go. If you want to fight someone with purples, he's got a 7 MP steal for only 5 green. Again, glowing phantom phenom plate with the low blow eye poke, and one of the subs is going to make sure you're pretty much always loaded. If you know, there's just a lot of different things you can do with Piper, and he can hit way, way above his weight on tours, and not super fast in feud, although when you get a big sub line damage bonus and stuff, it can rack up the damage fairly quickly. But just for the simple reason, if you want to work on one Hall of Fame and you can't afford a lot of tokens to take him high. Piper at 5-star bronze so far, like I said, has been able to easily meet every single Hall of Fame requirement I've needed to when there's a Hall of Fame rec. So he makes our honorable mention for sure. Very versatile, strong sub, can punch way above his weight. The thing that holds him from being back from being a lot higher is he's not super fast, but he is very efficient. So Piper is on our list. Let's take a look at Snoop, Trickster. He's a very interesting one, especially looking at 5-star gold where your primary gem damage goes up so much. He's almost 11k on his primary. From silver, it's 7,760. So you're talking about almost, not quite double, but not that far away from double the damage with Snoop. Black moves are super cheap to get started with the choose 3 pyros. Unfortunately, at 5-star gold, it doesn't go to 4, which is too bad, but he's very, very good. As we start to get pyro trainers and coaches, unfortunately, Acro Snoop is Snowfall and super rare, but if we get a pyro coach that adds one more, that would add even more. And the fact that he's going off of his primary color is kind of what keeps him on the list, and he can do a lot of damage fast. He's also amazing for purple stipulation. Very, very good for purple stip. So Snoop makes it on those 2 reasons. One, and plus with the way you play him, you can usually fill the board up on turn 2 with pyros, even making only 3, and you can literally make 7 columns of purple pyros. So he could easily, potentially at some point, I could see working his way maybe into the top 5. It'd be really interesting to see. Anyway, Snoop, if you have him, definitely worth working on. Mine's 5-star bronze, and he's certainly someone that will make his way to 5-star gold. Not faster than some of my other tricksters, but definitely very, very strong card. He does have other build sets, but I much prefer the double black. They're really cheap to get started and run and go. You can do some leech gem stuff with him as well. And do some healing, but I do prefer the double black. So moving along, another one I have at 5-star bronze would be BigE. The Manny Faces of Positivity. I do have both of his gears. They certainly help, but he's got 2 really viable move sets. He's got the double black, move the pin bar back 7 notches, and the buff move, 110% for 1 turn to your black gems, and he's generating black gems. If you have the gear, you're generating 7, and then if you have another gear, you start with the +3 black MP, so it really makes these +5. So with the gears, that moveset's really fast. The other moveset that's quite fun is the double blue. They're decent damage, and they do some healing, and it recycles really well with the pin bar back move. You know, you're like 50k across the board. He was one of the first guys to really have really chunky move damage. It's fallen off a little bit now, but with the move damage metal and stuff, I think he could still be viable with that blue set. And then the other set, especially looking at what black gems do from silver, from 5,500 to gold 7,800. He certainly got viability into 5-star gold with that spam the black gems on the board build. So BigE's definitely an interesting one and certainly worth looking into. The next one, Hollywood Hogan. I don't have him. A lot of people don't. He's an amazing coach. Let's just start off with that. Oops. If you can type. Amazing coach. Talking about making any color gem match +1. I'm not super familiar with him personally. I do know he does. I have a friend that has him, and you can, with the right skill plate, you can loop your moves. With the column destroy, I believe is what he said he could use to, and then not move the pin bar. Right here, the low blow. You can loop that if you do it right. With column destroy that and that kind of thing. So he can loop. He can get started quickly if you have the right gems in his choose column to destroy. If you don't, not as much. He does have a kick out, no damage, but it does heal, which is always kind of interesting, although that typically doesn't get used. But he's got the no pin bar move. Decreases the damage of all your opponent's gems. Unfortunately, it's a total of 2 turns. It didn't move to 3 at 5-star gold, so you're probably not going to use that. And then the finisher, the Finger Poke of Doom, the 3x3 into wild card gems can be quite nasty. So Hollywood can still get it done, still do a decent chunk of damage. He's not a top 5 guy to me, but he is a pretty solid trickster fighter. And admittedly, I don't know a ton about him because I don't have him and I never got to test him. But I do have a buddy that says you can definitely loop the pin bar won't move if you set it up right and get your cascades lined up and stuff. You can do quite a bit of damage with him with the right skill plate as well. So the last one on the honorable mentions is JBL Hawk. This one, I really like this card. He's different. He's not for everyone. His sub is really crazy. It leaves huge leech gems on the board. 206,000 at 5-star gold. Leech gems, and he does get to, unfortunately it doesn't go up to placing 4. That would have been huge. The sub does go up 1 turn. You don't really care about that for the damage. What you care about is the leech gems. All of his areas though do go up at 5-star gold, so from 3x6 to 3x7, and from 7x3 or 6x3 to 7x3. Those are 5 charge moves. You lay that area stuff down with the 5 and the 6 charge, and you can do a bunch of damage. Plus, you got the sub to slow him down and leeches to heal yourself. JBL's a really fun card, and he's going to be a problem because of his low charge moves and the sub with the leeches and stuff. I think, you know, he's a very safe card to have leveled up into the future. Just because of the cost of the moves, the fact that he's blowing up a bunch of the board. You can do a bunch of different stuff if you want to use the finishers, if you want to use the sub. But those leech gems at that strength are kind of timeless, really, with that kind of healing. So JBL, super good card. Big fan of this one. That'll move us into the top 5. So let me throw out number 5 here. We'll get that one up here. That's going to be Zombie Black. Depending on the person, I mean, like, you might have JBL ahead of him, you might not. He's still super rare. I don't have him. In fact, I'm missing all but one of the Tricksters in the top 5, and I am missing 2 of the honorable mention Tricksters. So I'm missing more than half of the Tricksters on this list. So don't feel bad if you are as well. Black's finisher is quite big. It doesn't get a lot bigger at 5-star gold, but it does get bigger, 350k. It does have the stun yourself, so if you have the anti-stun strap, that's a non-factor. Big fan of the finisher, personally. The bleed is okay. It's just not quite big enough and doesn't get bigger. It is cheap, but, you know. He's got the spam reds. That stays at 3. It doesn't get any bigger. The health steal doesn't go up that much. It's solid at 4, just not really huge. So I'm kind of partial. I'd be choosing purples with him to get to the finisher with the Whiplash Moonsault. And most likely, that's how I would run him at 5-star. He does have the sub move and stuff. He can make the whole board, all the silence gems into green gems in combination with the sub. He silences the entire board, 7 MP green. So he's got that sub build. It isn't high damage anymore, so there is that, but it is annoying. And then, of course, you can turn all the silence into green and recycle that way. Or you got the health steal, spam the board with reds, the bleed, and then of course there's the big damage finisher. So a lot of different stuff you can do. A lot of people like to showdown with him, not quite as much anymore. I think 5-star gold, his kind of run in showdown kind of over for him being like a top showdown guy, although as a hot tag guy with that finisher, that's always gonna be a possibility with other zombies tagging in or other people that generate purples. So he's gonna have that with that big finisher. And you can kind of run him in feud with the right line bonuses if you're able to go quickly, if you have plus green and that kind of stuff. But otherwise, you know, he isn't as strong as he used to be, in my opinion. He used to kind of be the clear number one. He's still very good, and I wish I had him, but he just isn't the as good as the top three, four tricksters. So that's why we had black at 5. So let's take a look at number 4. Mutant Cesaro. Cesaro is a problem. He could be higher, potentially, than this. At 5-star gold, I could see him as high as potentially even 2. I can't really see him much lower than 4. He's very, very good. He's got multiple build sets. You got the Silence Gem build, which maybe isn't for everyone. Yellow, yellow, purple, and huge damage for the bonus gems using the, I think it's a time once again that does purple to yellow, yellow to purple, something like that. And it doesn't move the pin bar. I think it's purple to yellow. It doesn't move the pin bar, so you can get more silence gems out, hit the finisher, do a swipe, get more silence gems out, then do the finisher. You can do a lot of fun stuff with him. Plus, he has this ridiculous health steal. It's stealing almost 400,000 at 5-star gold. That's without trainers. So you're talking, you can get him up to like 1,000,000 health steal. It is a little bit higher charge, but all you have to do is kick out. I plan on running mine actually with the health steal build, I think, at 5-star gold. A green, green, and then the purple destroy, choose to destroy. And I'll just run him with Zombie Roman to help kick out, really, and run him double Fury for the same reason, so he can kick out. Because you're going to end every match like full life. Put the Glowing Phantom Phenom plate on, it'll make recycling really easy, and he's just going to be a big problem. And beyond that, like I said, there's also the yellow build, which can hit a huge boom with the finisher. Just a very, very good card, very strong, insane healing. So he's going to always be pretty useful with that health steal. I don't see that, like, that scale's really nice. It's just big, right? Like, even where a lot of move damage stuff doesn't go up that significant, it gets from 365k to 391k. That's a decent boost. That's just big, guys. Plus, it's dealing 44k damage to start with. So, I mean, you could put a green percentage on him, a green flat, and that's going to do really nice damage, to be honest. You could go either. Percentage would be a little bit better with the Fury, so you can kick out. Just really, really good, fun card. Big fan of Cesaro. That brings us to number 3. Mherex. Most electrifying man rock. He is very good. The kick out is very big. It's only, what is it? Where are we at here? Where is your kick out, Rocky? 5 MP is all, so not too hard to charge. Deals at 5-star gold, 484,000 damage. It doesn't heal, which is a bummer. However, his finisher does. He's got the finisher. It steals 175,000 health. Not super, super huge, but it's also not bad. So that's the one thing at 5-star gold. I feel like he kind of loses his healing, being over the top like it is prior to that, like being such a huge chunk. And I think at 5-star gold, with the buffs to gem damage, you start focusing on him with the trap gems and the yellow gem damage off of them, right? So you're throwing your traps out and then you're breaking them and, blowing up the board with the yellow damage. So I'm thinking, the buff, you go red, red, and then maybe the kick out is the way I think I would probably go with him. And just focus on that gem damage and blowing up the board. I don't think the health steal is really in play as much at 5-star gold because it's not super big. He's still very good, though. He's still got the kick out. You could also run the choose traps to destroy with it. There's just a lot of different ways you can run rock, right? I mean, like, you got the bonus damage for trap gems, too. He can do a lot of stuff. Super good card. I love kickouts, especially at 5-star gold. So Mherex, fantastic card. We had him at number 3. Number 2? Invisible Cena. Big reason for this is if you have seen some of the damage that Zombie Taker is now doing at 5-star gold with his off color, Cena is using his primary color. And as we talked about before with Snoop, that's going from 7,760 to 10,800. And I'm seeing million damage every turn at 5-star silver when he's set up right, from people. So no reason to think he can't push, 1.5 to 2 million damage turn one and every turn after, with the way his trap gems are. Plus, there's the thing at they go from, when you break them, they go from 3 random gems into purple to 4. So it's going to make him really consistent. Potentially, you could run into where you blow up too much at once, so you limit your damage instead of multiple cascades. That could potentially be a thing. However, I think the consistency is going to more than make up for it, with those trap gems. So he also has 10% dodge, which is not something to sneeze at. Highest dodge in the game. Normal Tricksters 3%. He's 10%. So definitely something to say for that. He's got the throwback 6 MP. You can get those reds started with that 6 MP move if you want. So yeah, he's super good. A few different ways you can run him as well if you want. But I like those trap gems, the Z-Taker build, and the fact that his primary gem damage and the trap gem gets buffed so much. He's gonna, I think, be very good for a very, very long time. You can maybe debate, because of the kick out and stuff, you could maybe debate Mherex with Inviscena. That's going to be a personal thing. These top 4 really with Cesaro, in my opinion, they're like the cream of the crop, and they're all really, really close. At next month, Booker's going to be in the conversation too. Where they all land, I think, is often preference. But he's super, super good card, right? So let's take a look at number 1 on the list. And I don't think this will surprise too many people. Mutant Balor, one of the biggest winners at 5-star gold, in my opinion. Already a fantastic card prior to that. Great trainer on top of it. Also Cena, obviously Stip Tours with Cena. Same thing with Rock, with yellow. Cena is purple, so he can dominate purple Stip Tours and stuff like that. So 5-star gold, Mutant Balor. His finisher 50k, but the 3x4 purple goes to 4x4, and the leech gems. Where are we at? Leech gems. It goes from being a 2x2 area to a 2x3. So you're doing 600,000 leech damage and healing yourself for 600,000, plus the 60k. You're going to have a purple move damage medal on, another 50k, all the purple damage. He's going to be doing like 1 million damage each cycle, healing yourself for 600,000. A lot of people are going to use the bleed. I'm actually not a fan of the bleed, personally. It's huge, but it is only a 50% chance. I'd rather set him up to get those purples going right away turn 1. So the mutated 1916 is a 4 MP red, and it goes from choosing 1 purple to choosing 2. So that's what I would run him with, the choose purple, and then just start going right away with the leech gem and the finisher. 1 million damage a pop, healing yourself. Of course, he also has the great tag link for Showdown, and then you start running the 1 MP bleed in Showdown, and that's a big problem too. So he's very, very good at Showdown as well. So he was our clear number 1. So that's the Tricksters for this month. Let me go back over to my game. Like I said, I don't have most of them, so don't feel bad if you don't. We got Mutant Balor in at number 1, Inviscena number 2, Mherex number 3, Mutant Cesaro 4, Zombie Black 5, and then we have the Hollywood Hogan, BigE, Snoop, Hall of Fame Piper, and free-to-play icon Sean. Sean and Piper could flip-flop with being an honorable mention and being free-to-play. They're both super good, so you could flip-flop them. Notably, you're going to notice Gooker missing from the list. Gooker is very good, so don't think we're saying he's bad. This isn't a tier list. This is also more looking towards the future. I've been messing around with a lot of different ways to try and make mine more viable. He's good. I just don't feel like he's that upper echelon trickster. He falls more into the good area. He's rare, so I think a lot of people think he's better than he is because he's rare. But he's still very good. You won't see Hall of Fame Rude on here. He potentially could easily be on the list. Hall of Fame Rude is very good as well. That's just a couple. I know there's more tricksters. You could make a case potentially for Eddie actually stealing 3 different MP colors. I could see Eddie having new life breathed into him. At 5-star gold, where matches are taking a little bit longer, he heals himself. He can steal 3 different colors, so there's going to be a lot of utility there. He's an interesting one, not with that first round of my 5-star golds, but that, maybe second, third round of 5-star gold, I could see myself taking Eddie up. NWO Macho, I don't think gets it done anymore, so not really it for me. Depending on what they do with Leech Gems, we now have a Leech Gem coach in Seth. Didn't help Edge as much as I had hoped. Maybe we get a Leech Gem trainer that actually affects the heal on the Leech Gem part. That could potentially do something with Edge long term. Zombie Cena is another one that was mentioned in the free-to-play. Very, very good card. Really close to making it, honestly. Especially, you have his gear and stuff. There's a lot of ways you can set him up to be viable. So there's just some other names that potentially you might see someday in the future. Maybe you're annoyed they're left off the list, but like I said, when we keep it to 5, we got to stop somewhere, and we're going to keep it to 5. Talking about 10 per class plus a free to play is enough. Trickster, the very, very top, is really hard to get. I have one of the top 5. After that, there's a lot of really good tricksters, and it's really deep, and it was really hard to narrow it down to 5. So I'm very interested to hear what you guys think. This finishes up all of August. I know we're in September already, halfway through it, but these are all from August. Females are next. I am going to break females down into 2 videos, 3 classes per video. And we're doing a top 3 and a free to play on the females. After those are done, we will start reviewing September's stock watch, and pretty much every single list is going to be changing. There is stock rising and stock falling. We are buying and selling lots of different characters in the game. Lots of different cards, so it should be really fun. I'm enjoying this a lot. I hope you guys are too. Sorry this one took me a while to get out, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. So again, let me know what you think in the comments, and please remember to like, subscribe, and share, as that helps me out. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and good luck out there.